Hola, amigos. Brad Evans here. It is week number 15. We've got second round fantasy playoff action going on. So, time to lock and load for the next about 35 minutes here on this chat. Your questions for round two of the fantasy playoffs. Hopefully, you're not in too much of a massive deficit after the first three games were already logged and played. I had some Deshaun Hamilton going yesterday. Now, he did have the 7 receptions in a PPR league. It was decent. But in terms of everything else, not so much. Kind of like the Broncos offense as a whole. I've got my coffee, my fuel, and I'm ready to answer all of your pressing fantasy needs. So go ahead and start dropping in your questions. Already coming in fast and furious. But before I get to that, I do want to update everybody on a couple of notes that are out there and just kind of my fantasy spin on things in regards to it. The biggest question right now is whether or not T.Y. Hilton is going to play. Ian Rappaport said this morning, if we're seeing Rappaport of the NFL Network, that T.Y. has a good shot of playing today against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, T.Y. hadn't practiced all week, dealing with an ankle injury. Historically, he's a warrior, a guy that's gritty, he's gutty, he's going to try to tough it out. I think he'll end up playing, but you have to worry about some of the limitations, and you also got to worry about the matchup. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys have been extremely unforgiving to the wide receiver position this season, particularly Byron Jones, who I would imagine T.Y. Hilton would lock horns most often with. Jones ranks top 15 in passer rating allowed, top 10 in yards per snap allowed among all eligible DBs. So he has been white on rice, a guy that's really blanketed and asphyxiated the competition this season. So I think you have to temper your expectations with T.Y. Hilton, view him more as a wide receiver 2, 3 than the surefire wide receiver 1 that you have grown accustomed to seeing. LaShawn McCoy is going to try to work out his hamstring injury this morning before kickoff against the Detroit Lions. If he is unable to go, it sounds like Marcus Murphy would probably get the start, though really the true running back for the Buffalo Bills right now is Josh Allen, a guy that's averaged 111.3 rush yards per game over the last 3 weeks. The Lions have done a really good job of containing dual threat quarterbacks on the ground. Actually, the highest amount of yards that they have yielded this season was to Mitchell Trubisky. That was 18, though Trubisky did find the end zone with his legs. I think it could be 50, 60 rushing yards for Allen. I mean, he's just playing schoolyard ball right now, and I don't think it's going to slow him down in any way, shape, or form based on the matchup. He's just going to continue to do his thing. But it looks like if you are somebody who is desperate for a running back or a flex option in a deeper league, Marcus Murphy, somebody, maybe you could kick the tires on. It's slim pickings out there in most cases, so something to consider there. Elsewhere, in terms of news, on a related note, it doesn't sound like Chris Ivory is going to play for the Buffalo Bills. That's why I'm suggesting Marcus Murphy. Roethlisberger is dealing with cracked ribs. Another guy that's similar to T.Y. Hilton. He's going to tough it out. Probably wear a specialized jacket of some sort to try to protect the ribs, his chest cavity. The Patriots rank inside the top 6 in most fantasy points allowed at the quarterback position. They're giving up 2 passing touchdowns per game, over 270 yards per game. And Roethlisberger, I think, has got a really good shot of going out there and pulling off a Jordan-esque performance, something like 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's dire straits. It's desperation time for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're at home. They got to win this game. The Browns are still alive in the playoff hunt. The Ravens, obviously, as well. So, this is a must-win game for Pittsburgh to keep their playoff chances alive and really have themselves in a position to win the division. So I think the one of the strongest wagers on the board this week is taking Pittsburgh plus the 2.5. I find it kind of crazy that they're 2.5 point underdogs and people are continuing to hammer, at least the public is, the New England Patriots. I'm going to fade that noise. On a related note, James Conner expected to return next week. Not going to play today. Jalen Samuels, top 6 tight end option in Yahoo. I think he's a top 20 option in terms of running backs. A guy, particularly in a half point or full point PPR, who's probably going to see upwards of 15 to 20 touches, handful of catches. I think he's got a really good shot at, say, 75 to 85 total yards and a touchdown. So definitely somebody worth debating for your running back or tight end position. All right, that's pretty much a rundown of all the latest news. I'm going to hit refresh this one more time. Nope, nothing else new. So go ahead and send me in your questions right now, and I'm going to try to answer, excuse me, as I'm belching all over the place, as many of these as humanly possible here the next several minutes. First up, we've got Chris Quesada on Facebook. Jalen Samuels, good timing, or Derrick Henry. Who should I start at the flex? This is one of those kind of floor-ceiling conversations. The highest ceiling clearly belongs to Derrick Henry coming off that historic performance. And you get a New York Giants defense that over the last 6 weeks has given up 4.77 yards per carry, the ninth most fantasy points to the running back position. You have to wonder, though, if the failed version of Derrick Henry shows up today, because prior to that explosive effort that he had against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who just refused to tackle him. I mean, why do you go high on a guy when clearly I do is you got to chop the tree low, you know? You're in the forest, you're not going to go out there with an axe and start trying to hit it from the top. You're going to hit it from the bottom to make that sucker go timber. And instead they were going high just idiotically, and that's why Henry was able to continuously rack massive chunk gains in that game. But remember, weeks 1 through 13, he was RB 47 in terms of fantasy points per game. He was averaging less than 40 rushing yards per contest, only 5 touchdowns in 12 games. I mean, that's not getting the job done. So you have to wonder if that side of Derrick Henry is going to resurface. Maybe it's more of a Dion Lewis game, but I think I'm still going to chase that ceiling with Henry over a Jalen Samuels, just knowing the potential payout it could have. So there you go, Chris. I would go with Derrick Henry. Josh Prentice on Facebook. Cam Newton or Dak Prescott? I'm still going with Dak. I know Zach Martin is out, and I nearly got drilled, but I have the elusiveness of a cat, Eddie Behrens. It was a pretty good toss, but no, I'm going to go Dak Prescott. I know Zach Martin is out, and a lot of people are concerned about his protection. I mean, he was QB 30, even with Martin in the trenches in terms of clean pocket percentage, so he's been under a great deal of duress this season, but he's QB8 since week 8. And you look at this Indianapolis Colts defense, you know, they haven't played any noteworthy quarterbacks here the last several weeks, and they've still given up 7.6 pass yards per attempt. So I think Dak will most certainly be on the attack. I want him over an unhealthy Cam Newton. And that ding wing, it's really causing all kinds of problems on throws beyond, say, 15 yards for him. You know, even on the run, pretty much every advanced metric since week 11 has fallen off precipitously in terms of his overall efficiency. So I'm going to go with Dak Prescott there. Chase Barron on Periscope. Hey, sir. Oh, wow. It sounds so regal. Do I start Breeze tomorrow night at Carolina because of Big Ben's cracked ribs? I have Roethlisberger slightly higher. I don't think you can lose with either one of these guys. The Carolina secondary has been overly generous here down the stretch, but Roethlisberger at home, even though he's got the ribs, it's just a pain tolerance issue. He's going to be able to fight through it. So I would actually put Roethlisberger out there in a game with a lot of shootout appeal, though there is some shootout appeal certainly tied to any Saints matchup. So there you go. Let's see what else we got rolling in here. Again, we're streaming on Twitch, we're streaming on YouTube, we're streaming on Facebook and Periscope as well. So continue to bring those questions in. Rafael Gonzalez on Facebook says Zach Zenner, ? Well, I think Zach Zenner is interesting. You know, you look at the matchup against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills rank inside the top 10 in most fantasy points, a lot of the running back position. They've given up 14 rushing touchdowns to RBs alone. They're giving up 85.3 rush yards per game to running backs alone. And LeGarrette Blount might be in the doghouse a little bit. I mean, the Lions are in full evaluation mode. If you listen to Matt Patricia's comments, some of Zenner's teammates' comments, they were thrilled. They were ecstatic for the kid to find the end zone last week and play as well as he did in the second half. So maybe he is going to get a bulk of the action today. I mean, knowing the matchup, I mean, there are worse flex options out there. I think Zenner is a guy, 55 to 65 yards, a potential touchdown, certainly within reach. R. Slawowski on Periscope, pick 2 between Baldwin, Galladay, and Davis. I would actually sit Kenny Galladay down. Go Corey Davis and Doug Baldwin. Baldwin is expected to play. Kenny Galladay, a very difficult matchup going against Tre'Davious White, who is top 5 in passer rating allowed, top 5 in yards per snap allowed. He is a true shutdown corner. And really, what has Galladay done lately? I mean, he hasn't even gone over the 70-yard mark in 2 of his last 5, except for 2 of his last 5 games. So a player that is largely unreliable based on the matchup, based on the recent trends, knowing the fact, too, that the game is in Buffalo. I don't want Kenny Galladay. Moving on, Alfredo Ramirez on Facebook, Boyd or Baldwin. I'm going to go with Tyler Boyd there. You know, the Raiders have been respectable against the pass, but Boyd has been BFFs with Jeff Driscoll. The Drizzy has been throwing that hotline bling at him all day long since overtaking lead quarterback duties from the injured Andy Dalton out of the slot. You know, you're going to see probably for Boyd maybe upwards of 9 to 11 targets. I think 7, 8 receptions within the realm of possibility. 75, 85 yards, possible touchdown there. So I'm going to go with Tyler Boyd. Let's see. Ryan Sparks on Facebook. Breeze versus Prescott. I'm going to go Drew Brees there. Again, I don't mind either one of these options. I have them ranked inside my top 10. I just have Breeze slightly higher, especially with the Zach Martin news. You know, that might be just enough of a downgrade to push me toward the New Orleans Saint than to go with Dak. Sick Nuts Crazy on Periscope. Zenner or Gore in a PPR. I go Zach Zenner there. Again, I think he's got a real good shot. 55 to 65 yards and a touchdown. John Cannon on Facebook with a defensive question. Jacksonville, do you start or sit them? Well, what version shows up? Are they going to be willing to tackle? I mean, they're just, their minds are adrift. They're completely checked out physically, mentally. Josh Johnson's interesting, particularly for the Yahoo DFS competition. We got the $1 Million Baller, could still sign up now. Massive overlay, a really good chance of you at least doubling your money. We're giving away $100K to first place, so go do that now. sports.yahoo.com/dailyfantasy. It's only $20 to enter. And Josh Johnson is one of those low-dollar quarterbacks who's a dual threat passer who could definitely, be one of those key cogs, whether you're vying for a Super Bowl berth in your season-long league or trying to score some of that cold, hard Yahoo cash in the DFS game. I actually, Jacksonville, they're top 10. I mean, Johnson could make some mistakes. But again, it's anyone's best guess on what version of the Jag shows up defensively. Are they going to be in tune? Are they going to be active on defense? Who the heck knows? Kenny Cox on Facebook, Tyler Boyd or Allen Robinson in a PPR. I'm going Boyd. All day long. Not even remotely close there. Jeff Danning Jr., 23, Ebron or Gronk? Ebron, bro. I mean, Eric Ebron is a touchdown master. He's going to find the end zone again at least once. And, no Jack Doyle for the rest of the year on injured reserve. And you look at Dallas, as good as that secondary has been because they're so good and man-on-man coverage, a lot of zone looks underneath at the tight end position. They have had their way, tight ends, against this Dallas Cowboys defense. They rank inside the top 12 of most fantasy points allowed. I'll throw the G word out there. I guarantee that Eric Ebron finds the end zone. I can't say the same for Gronk, even though Gronk is starting to show some of his spike ways here of late. So go Eric Ebron there. Eric Jonas, 18 on Periscope. DJ Moore, Kenneth Dixon for a flex play in a standard league. I actually go with Kenneth Dixon there. Andy Behrens believes that the Kenneth Dixon is going to occur. Takeover is going to occur today. I think he's got a really good shot of at least duplicating what he did last week, which was 80 yards and a touchdown. That was only on 9 touches. John Harbaugh has said, hey, we want his role to expand. We expect that to grow. And Tampa Bay has allowed the 5th most fantasy points to the running back position. A lot of that coming off the peripherals, off the edge, whether in the pass game or just off-tackle runs. And those are kind of specialties of Kenneth Dixon. So I go with Dixon there. Kevin M. Cararuso on Facebook. Edelman or Josh Gordon, a half-point PPR. It's close. I think Gordon hits 80 yards. Edelman would have obviously more receptions. You look at Gordon's individual matchup, probably going to see some Cody Sensabaugh. He's given up a 99.4 passer rating. I'll go with Gordon. I'll chase the higher ceiling there. I think the safer floor is actually with Edelman, but really interchangeable, very close for both of those guys. All right, let's roll through some more of these questions. Ton of them coming in. Pizzle Petro on Periscope. Humphreys or Godwin? Let's see here. I'm going to go with Adam Humphreys. You look at the Baltimore Ravens. Where are they most susceptible? It's not on the edges and one-on-one coverage. It's underneath. Similar to the Dallas Cowboys, again, because the DBs are so good in solo coverage that can open up the middle of the field. That's why tight ends have had their way, not only against the Cowboys, but also against the Ravens. That could benefit Humphreys working out of the slot. So I would go with Humphreys there over Godwin, who's more of an edge receiver. Kimberly Hansen on Facebook. Henry or Cohen in a PPR? You had me at Cohen with PPR. I know Henry's ceiling probably higher, but Cohen, is so slippery in space, going to be highly involved in the pass game. Probably going to get you, 4 to 6 receptions, good shot at 80-plus yards and a touchdown. I think he's the safer of the two options, knowing how low the floor is with Derrick Henry based on weeks 1 through 13. So something to keep in mind there. Chase Deutschman on Facebook. I need 2. T.Y., Aaron Jones, Chris Carson. I'm going to go with the guaranteed volume and touches and the healthier options there in both running backs. I'm going to go Carson, who I've got top 12 this week. I think he's going to go for 90 and a touch against San Francisco, and Aaron Jones. Though I have Aaron Jones featured on my lames list, not a fan of him necessarily this week. I don't trust T.Y., well, A, playing as of yet, and B, if he does, at what percentage is he going to operate? 60%, 70%? I mean, those are legitimate questions. I would go with the guaranteed volume of the two running backs. All right, chugging along. We got a question here from YouTube. Brody Rhodes. How do you think Zach Ertz will do today with the new quarterback? I think he's going to do just fine. That game's got some shootout appeal between the Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles, and anytime you can work away from Aqib Talib you're going to be a point of emphasis, and I think that's certainly going to be the case for Zach Ertz. I think he's going to lead the team in targets, he's going to lead the team in receptions, pretty much do Zach Ertz things. 7, 8 catches, 80-plus yards, possible touchdown. He's going to be just fine with Foles. I mean, Foles is quite respectable. We saw the run to the Super Bowl last year. A guy that's averaged 255.8 yards per game, 1.7 touchdowns per game over his last 7 contests in which he threw for at least 30 attempts. So for me, Zach Ertz, start him with the utmost confidence. Brian J. Lefort on Periscope. Henry or White in a non-PPR. I go Derrick Henry there. Pittsburgh's done a really good job containing pass-catching running backs. So you got to go Henry there and chase the upside. Mitch, 8585 on Periscope. Murphy, Cobb, Crowder, Crabtree, Gallup, pick 2. I'll go with Marcus Murphy for 1. And I will take, I'd probably go Michael Gallup for the 2nd. I don't trust Cobb in a rematch. I understand he had 75 yards and, a long touchdown on that 75-yarder against the Bears all the way back in week 1. But the Bears, they are thirsty. They are voracious. They are hungry for revenge, and I think they're going to exact it today. Gallup, he's been rather unreliable, but I like the matchup there going against Indianapolis with Amari Cooper seeing a lot more double coverage. He's going to see some premium coverages and hopefully take some advantage of that. All right, let's move on. Infinity Dad 23, Dallas D or Lions D? I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions defense, knowing that Josh Allen's probably going to make a mistake or 3 in that one. So that's the advantage. Slight one over Dallas, who's drawing the Indianapolis Colts on the road. Charles Thomas on Facebook. Breida, Jones, Henry, or Sony Michel in APPR. I'm going to go with Derrick Henry, and I'd probably go Aaron Jones. Breida, this is the dilemma that a lot of people are dealing with. How many touches will Matt Breida really log? You got Jeff Wilson Jr. there. There are some question marks about, the distribution and workload between those two. With the Niners in full evaluation mode, it could be a full-blown 50-50. At least with Jones, we know. With Joe Philbin at the controls, now that, the dodo bird, Mike McCarthy, is no longer employed, that, he's probably going to see upwards of 16, 17, 18 touches in a difficult matchup. So, and I don't like Sony Michel at all. The Steelers are very, very stout in the trenches. 7th fewest fantasy points allowed to the running back position, 3.84 yards per carry. Oh, Sookie. So that's what I'm going to go with there. Tank rocking the Wookiee shirt. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm trying to think if I should set Rev up before he comes. Let me grab his.
If he does, I don't know what Reverend's doing.
I think he's trying to like hide inside the room and get his DFS lineup together.
That could be. I need to make some tweaks into my DFS and season-long lineups. Airman on YouTube, Kenyon Drake or Kenneth Dixon. Are you buying that Dixon's going to see an uptick in workload today, Tank, against those Arglist Buccaneers?
It seems like it'll be more of a Gus Edwards game where they just
ground and pound
him, right?
Yeah.
And it seems as though, especially after Drake having that big run last week to seal the deal for him.
That was such a fluky play.
I mean, it was a fluky play, but I mean, it just shows what kind of athleticism that he has and that they should be using him more. But at the same time, this is like such a smash spot for Minnesota. Where then you feel like they don't have to use Drake in the pass game. So I'll probably go Drake over.
He's going Drake. I'm going Kenneth Dixon. So there you go. Let's see. Jay Hayes from where I live in Littleton, Colorado on Periscope.
Hey.
What up? Don't go checking on my wife. PPR pick 3. Michelle, Ingram, Dixon, Martin, Riddick. Riddick immediately eliminated. So Michelle, Ingram, Dixon, Martin. Needs 3.
Oh, you know I got CT. It's hard for me to remember all those names.
All right, we'll sit one of those. Who in a PPR do you sit? Michelle, Ingram, Dixon, or Martin?
Oh, I'm definitely playing. Oh, damn.
I'm sitting Michelle.
Ingram.
In full point Dixon, PPR?
Martin. Riddick. He needs 3 of those. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a Michelle game. It's more of a James White game. And then obviously Riddick. Yeah, so Ingram, Dixon, Doug Martin.
It took you a while to process that.
Man, it's still early, dog.
I know.
I haven't even had like a sip of tea yet.
Well, you get your caffeine fix on. Get your Earl Grey, your English breakfast. All right. Jim Pass 33 on Periscope. Dak or Cam? Zach Martin out on that offensive line today for the Dallas Cowboys. Does that change your opinion? I'm going Dak.
Not really. I'll probably go. I mean, actually, both of these guys are in really good spots. I feel like Dak would be more prone to use his legs and maybe get a rushing touchdown over Cam, which sounds crazy. But just if you look at the trends, it's just been a Christian McCaffrey show.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to change, knowing that Cam's got those
he's
limitations.
banged up too with the shoulder.
Yeah,
Dak.
Like I said, there are certain injuries you don't want tied to certain positions: kicker, foot, running back, hamstring, adult film star, groin, and then with quarterback, shoulder. I mean, these are the things you don't want. I think that got edited out of my column this week, unfortunately.
Please say that on the show. That needs to be on FFL.
Yeah. President Brain. These are certain things. I mean, we just keep going with these certain analogies. I actually wrote that imprint. I think it was live on.
Why did they edit that?
I don't know.
That's glorious.
It is good. It's not like adult film stars aren't in the news every other day.
Come on, dog. You're a peacock. They gotta let you fly, dog. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was really proud of that one, especially this late in the season. So there you go. Airman. Oh, I miss you, Airman. Sorry, dude. Hit us back up again on YouTube. Let's see. Justin Shep on Periscope. Alshon or Galladay in a full point PPR.
Alshon.
Both. Really?
Yeah.
Without hesitation. Knowing.
Yeah, without hesitation.
Well, both of these are not good matchups.
I'm a Galladay owner who I just traded a couple weeks ago because I needed a quarterback. But with Marvin Jones being out, like that, the Lions probably have the worst offense in the league right now. Like they're averaging 16 points a game over the past 3 weeks. And with Nick Foles in the game, I mean, when you notice when Nick Foles started for the Eagles earlier in the season, when Wentz was still battling back, Alshon was his guy. And then it wasn't until Wentz came back when Ertz started going off. So I think it may be a reversion back to Alshon for this game. In a game where Foles is going to have to throw the rock.
He said truck. It's the internet. We don't care. We have no filter here. I don't like either one of these guys, quite honestly.
No, but I like Alshon better.
Here, I'll give you a wild card. What's behind door number 3? D.D. Westbrook. I'd rather have D.D. Westbrook today against Washington and Fabian Moreau operating out of the slot than either one of those two guys.
I will say that Cody Kessler looked competent throwing the ball.
And how many targets did D.D. have? 10.
A ton.
A ton, because he's the best wide receiver in that
He
core.
actually threw some decent balls.
Cody Kessler's he wasn't bad with Cleveland. He just never got really his opportunity. And when he did get his opportunity, he got beat up because the offensive line at that time
being
was
said, I have
problematic.
like a ton of quarterback options on my bench because I was doing all scrubs with ballers at other positions, and Kessler's still on the bench under like Driscoll, Mayfield. I had Keenum, got Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson, sneaky good play at DFS.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, he's ultra cheap. T-Skin
Would you
10.
play Josh Johnson over Driscoll?
Yes.
Josh Johnson over Kessler?
Yes.
You would.
Dude, it's all about scoring duality. Driscoll can run too.
Yeah.
But Josh Johnson came in cold off the bench in 2.5 quarters and was QB7 last week.
Yeah.
And I don't know what version of Jacksonville's defense is going to show up.
That's the thing, though.
Mentally, they're just like, can we get this damn season over already? They're blowing up.
They got embarrassed last week, though.
And they're at home.
And they're at home.
I understand that. I'm rolling the dice, Team Huevo style.
I feel like it's Huevos to use Driscoll, too. And he has a really cupcake matchup against Oakland. And he's at home.
That's true. These are all,
so am I talking
you're
to
making
the other
salient points here, but
But still, you just got to go Huevos.
JJ.
Just because.
JJ.
All right.
I'm just telling you.
All
right. Let's see here. T-Skin 10. Do you think the Colts can shut down Amari? Firm no.
No. I would say don't expect Amari to explode for 40.
Well, he's not going to go for 210 and 3 scores again.
But other than that, yeah. Especially in our DFS game too. He's only $23 and he's been going off.
I've got him fully locked and loaded in private leagues. We cannot play for the $100,000 on the
y'all can't because y'all are employees.
Yeah, we're full-time employees.
Yeah.
So we are.
Yeah, I'm a contractor, so I can play. So y'all can see me in them streets if you want to.
Tank ain't going nowhere. No, I think you won the DFS competition on the show. So
we have one more week.
It's not over. It's not over.
That's when you know it's over.
Andy Behrens is not conceding. Here comes Skinny Santa into the frame.
I concede nothing.
Let's go with
I set a deadly lineup this week.
So you'll make up 40 points, and I'm gonna tank it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like the Raiders. I'm bad at tanking.
And your name's Tank.
No.
For crying out loud.
I think it was last year I collapsed. I totally collapsed.
Let's help Cassidy out. She's got a question on Facebook. Falcons D or Detroit against Buffalo. I'm going with Atlanta.
Yeah, I'll take Atlanta against me. What a question. I take probably Tennessee over both, if available.
Really?
They're out there in a handful of leagues. Sure.
Atlanta's only $12 in our DFS game.
Yeah, and they're playing at home, whereas those other I feel like those other defenses have good matchups, but they're on the road, and that's when it gets a little dicey. I'm playing Detroit in season long because I have to.
Love Atlanta. So Visha Sock on, I hope I didn't butcher that name, on YouTube. Bears or Rams, D? I'm going Chicago.
Yep, please.
You taking Philly or the Rams against Philly?
I don't mind it.
Oh, I don't mind it either, but we have to decide here for
choose.
I think
so
Visha. I think Foles is going to get a lot of empty yards and points today. I don't think it's going to be a great.
I don't know how Foles. That's the thing. I'm a little undecided on how Foles is going to play this week.
Man, I hope you're like this with your DFS lineup.
He's been hemming and hawing a lot since he walked in because
I've been hemming and hawing, but I'm still up by 40 points.
It's because you're internalizing.
Honestly, I think the Packers are still motivated after McCarthy being gone. Actually, I probably would take the Rams.
Get out of here with that. Not motivated because no, they're gonna get waxed by the Bears.
And they're coming. This is a letdown spot for the Bears.
No, it is against an arch rival. They're not gonna let down against Green Bay. Not at home. Hell, get out of here, Tank.
It would be a letdown spot against virtually any other opponent.
Sip on your tea, son. Sip on that tea. We gotta have a side wager here. We're gonna have a little side wager.
Just on Bears and Rams.
Yes, side wager.
Okay.
$20.
Tramp stamp?
There you go. Oh, no, no, no. We got witnesses. We got witnesses. No tramp stamp. Matt Erickson, Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen?
Lamar.
We had this question this morning. Lamar for me.
Yeah, sweep. Lamar, barely. James Steele. Okay, Barons. And Tank, see, what are your thoughts on Mike Evans? Because James is asking, does he play D.D. Westbrook over Evans? Knowing that Evans is going to Baltimore, going to be locked up against Jimmy Smith.
My ranks don't say it, but I think I might actually do it.
I would probably.
I like it. Yeah.
I would do Evans. The only reason I would do Evans is because I would tend to stay away from people playing Baltimore, but there have been some receivers that have had success against the Ravens. And then if you look just to last week, Tyreek Hill going off. Now I'm not saying that Mike Evans and Tyreek Hill are the same cat, but that Tampa Bay offense is the best pass offense in the league, even over Kansas City.
Yeah.
So if Evans is their lead dog, then give me that.
Yeah, but it's funny, like Hill and Evans do both have physical traits that, like, it doesn't matter how difficult, but like there's nothing you can do with 6'6".
Right.
There's nothing you can do with a
With
guy
that
who
speed.
has like 4.1 speed. Right?
All right, let's go rapid fire here, gents, because we got to get on set. Don't forget Fantasy Football Live coming up at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, yahoosports.com.
Yay!
Ninja something around on Periscope. Pettis or Boyd? I'm going Boyd.
Yeah, definitely Boyd.
Boyd?
Is it definitely Boyd?
Definitely Boyd for me.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if it's definitely Boyd.
it's
I like
Cincinnati,
both of them.
So, like, I don't want to give like a full-throated endorsement to any aspect.
I mean,
of
because it's like,
Cincinnati.
all right, you got Driscoll, you got Mullen.
These are supposed to be rapid fire.
I mean, but it's
Boyd.
not. I mean, but you're saying it just like it's a no-brainer. It's not a no-brainer.
Yeah, it is in my mind.
Okay, I don't think it's a no-brainer. I mean,
So are you going Boyd or Pettis?
I mean, it probably is Boyd, just because
it
if
definitely
you go off the
helped
record.
Pettis' profile that Goodwin came back last week and he was still the more active
Yeah.
receiver. Like that's a
It's not a given.
nod to him.
You just can't say it's like Boyd and like just more Boyd. Like Pettis
You
is in
got a
there.
picket fence shoved up your rectum?
No, I'm just
Well-
letting people know that it's not that easy.
Well, that would be a problem. We'd have to. Dr.
He is.
Greg's
I mean,
take
he's
on
just
that.
sitting on the fence here.
I'm on the fence.
All right, we're moving on. We're gonna move on. Cram K821 on Periscope.
Graham cakes.
Ingram or Ferkser?
Oh, Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram or
Yeah.
Ferkser?
I'm gonna
Not
go.
Bobby. Not
I'm
Bobby.
gonna go Evan Ingram here. Like I talked up Ferkser on the.
I kind of like
on the
Ferkser,
radio
but
shows.
I'm going
Like,
Ingram as well.
I really do like him.
I was
But
about to say, then you're full team Wavos today. If you
No, I'm not going Ferkser. I only go Ferkser if I'm in desperate need of a tight end.
Yeah.
Because we like him.
yeah, they're also like Ingram. I think is $11 in DFS and Ferkser is 10.
Right.
Is Ingram only 11 in
They're the-
DFS?
They're the really good.
I paid up
low
for
dollar
Ebron
tight
at $20.
And you also have Vernon Davis at $10 too.
Yeah.
Mike D, full PPR, Darren Sproles or Sony Michelle?
Wow. That is definitely Michelle for me.
Yeah, I'll go Michelle. Though it's closer because it's full point PPR. Tank's still speechless. He's figuring stuff
Fun
out
game
right
flow
now.
Situation
Yeah.
potentially for.
Yeah, it
Sproles
could
as
get
well.
interesting for Sproles, but yeah, you go to known quantity.
All right, last one from Kel Allen, PPR Flex. Brandon Cooks or Aaron Jones?
Cooks for me.
Cooks?
I
Sweep.
I think the Rams scored 70 today.
All right, we got to roll out of here, but we're gonna dispense more really crappy buys.
Easily Boyd.
There's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot of arguments. I got a feeling today on
start
Fantasy
passing
Football
DFS.
Live,
I
YahooSports.com,
mean,
11:30 a.m.
You
Eastern.
should,
Don't forget to sign up for the $1 Million Baller
you should go with that
competition.
Pettis,
Sports.yahoo.com/daily fantasy.
Probably the
$20 to
Niners
enter.
defense.
Massive overlay.
Kendrick Bourne.
Good chance to win.
Yeah.
At least double your money.
This is what
And
I
maybe
mean.
even
If they
$100,000 to do that
Just
right
stay
now. See you soon. Peace.